4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue music.
This is Movies First with Alex First.
It's the 17th century in Italy, and a young girl who almost died at birth is dropped off at a convent in Pescia in Tuscany by her loving parents. For an appropriate dowry, the Mother Superior, played by Charlotte Rampling, agrees to take her in. Although she receives hundreds of applications, she takes only 3 each year. Her name is Benedetta, and she's wedded to Jesus. She carries with her a small wooden statue of the Virgin Mary. That's taken from her as the convent has its own life-size Blessed Virgin to pray to. On her first night in the convent, Benedetta feels alone, and she leaves her cell to pray in front of the Blessed Virgin. Then a miracle happens. The large figure falls on top of her, and instead of being crushed, as she should have been, she survives without a scratch. Then we move to 18 years later, by which time, not surprisingly, Sister Benedetta, played by Virginie Efira, has become a fixture at the convent, which has strict rules. She has frequent vivid visions of Jesus with her in them. A commotion at the convent sees a dishevelled young woman, Bartolomea, played by Daphne Patakia, beg to be taken in, against the wishes of Bartolomea's angry father. Fortunately, Benedetta's father Giuliano and mother Midia are visiting, having watched Benedetta act in a play. They agree to pay for this distraught young woman's tuition and pay off Bartolomea's father to allow her to remain in the convent. Unlike Benedetta, Bartolomea has had a wretched past. She's immediately drawn to Benedetta, and Benedetta doesn't know what to make of her physical attraction to Bartolomea. Benedetta continues having visions, placing her with Jesus, and after one such episode, she starts bleeding uncontrollably from her hands and feet, in keeping with the stigmata. Although the Mother Superior remains unconvinced, she is forced to relinquish that role at the convent in favour of Benedetta. Meanwhile, Benedetta has become embroiled in a hot and heavy lesbian affair with Bartolomea, the consequences of which will be far-reaching.
Movies First with Alex First.
Benedetta the movie is the work of a filmmaker known for pushing the envelope, Paul Verhoeven, who was responsible for Basic Instinct. And I assure you, he doesn't hold back here either. Verhoeven has co-written the piece inspired by real events with David Birke, with whom he collaborated on Elle, and Verhoeven directs. It's based upon a book by Judith C. Brown titled Immodest Acts, the Life of a Lesbian Nun in Renaissance Italy. The movie tackles issues of morality, guilt, blasphemy, sensuality, and sexuality. The wooden statue of the Virgin Mary that the child Benedetta first carried into the convent is transformed. The internal workings of the church are given a fine working over, and it hardly comes out smelling roses. A number of the leading actors are given strong characterisations, and they play them up to full effect. As the Mother Superior, Charlotte Rampling comes across as a woman not to be trifled with. Virginie Efira is a manipulator extraordinaire as Benedetta, and Daphne Patakia is hardly a saint as the wild child Bartolomea. Lambert Wilson is ruthless as the papal ambassador from Florence. Benedetta the movie is certainly intriguing and a decidedly different take on faith. I dare say some will be horrified, while others will be drawn to the lewdness and dichotomies presented. Once again, Verhoeven has stirred up a hornet's nest, which I appreciated. Benedetta scores a 7 out of 10.
You've been listening to Movies First with Alex First.
Available at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or your favourite podcast player. You can also stream on demand at Bytes.com.
This has been another quality podcast production from Bytes.com.